In canon, Boba Fett was at Mos Eisley directly following the murder of Luke's aunt and uncle, Owen and Beru. Did he kill him? And if not, who did? Hello, and thanks for tuning into Sabacc Chat. I'm Ken, and with me is my good friend Garth.
Hey.
Garth, I think Boba Fett did it.
Oh, you do, eh?
Yeah.
I see you've been reading some fan theories. I think it's a funny idea, and ultimately ridiculous, though. It's a crazy fan theory. Here's my blind.
Well, with the potential Boba Fett movie set between episodes 2 and 3, and the rumored Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, Darth Vader movie, and Darth Maul movie, surely one of them will connect Fett to these killings.
Is that really necessary? I mean, everything doesn't need to be connected, especially to Fett again. The Clone Wars were connected to him already.
I call. Everything will be connected to Fett sooner or later, even the dinosaur bones. Did you know that Fett rode a dinosaur in the 1978 Star Wars Holiday Special?
Well, that's nice, but just because he rode a dinosaur doesn't mean he killed Owen and Beru. Check. And stand.
It doesn't help either. At the very least, the guy gets around. He's a doer.
It was a major part of the plot.
He's a doer of deeds.
Well, it was a major part of the plot of the original Star Wars that it was the Empire that killed Owen and Beru. We didn't see it on screen, but it was strongly implied. Let's do 100. Remember Luke wanted to join the Academy?
You can go to the Academy next year.
That was the Imperial Academy.
I'm not going to wait around for the Empire to draft me into service.
If Luke had found out that it was the bounty hunter who killed his aunt and uncle, it might have given him more reason to join the Empire.
There's nothing for me here now. I want to
Crack down on crime, stop murders like the bounty hunter.
Now, hold on. Hold your horses.
Was that a fold?
Yes, I fold.
Okay.
The Empire was still responsible, even if it was Fett who did the deed. As we know, Fett was a ready, willing, and able henchman of Darth Vader's.
Okay, so your theory goes Fett went down with the stormtroopers and then got to the Lars farm before they did?
Mm-hmm.
How did that work exactly? What happened
Absolutely. It was first come, first serve. Tatooine is the Wild West.
Well, that's true. Tatooine is the Wild West. Outlaws, right? Outlaw system. Right. Everybody rides something. Exactly. The Jawas ride the Rontos. The Sand People ride the Banthas. Even the Stormtroopers feel the need to ride dewbacks for some reason. Local saloon. Gunslinging. One of the more famous outlaw gunslingers, Han Solo.
For my dead body.
Han Solo will always be remembered for slinging that one gun the one time, no matter what happens. Died with a gunslinger's pose, in fact. Probably a comment on what J.J. Abrams thought about the special editions.
Yeah, man. Have you seen the movie The Searchers, starring John Wayne? It was hugely influential on the Tatooine scenes in A New Hope. The scene where Luke finds his aunt and uncle murdered is especially a tribute of The Searchers. So yes, very Wild West. So, if some high-ranking official, i.e. Darth Vader, tells a group of henchmen he wants XYZ done, they're not saying, no please, after you.
No shift.
No, okay. Boba Fett got there first. He rode a crate dragon while stormtroopers rode slow dewbacks. We know this because the crime scene looks like the work of a dragon, and we know that Fett feels right at home riding the native dinosaurs. I'll check. Dragons are alive and feared on Tatooine.
I don't know about that, but I do know that wild local beasts are often being tamed and ridden in Star Wars. The Rebels rode Tauntauns, Qui-Gon rode the Yopi, Obi-Wan rode the Vractal. In Clone Wars, they hitched rides on Nargloches. I don't know, it must be an efficient way to get around.
How much is that?
350.
It must have been the most efficient way to get around. If Boba Fett rode a crate dragon, it's a minor detail. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Do crate dragons breathe fire? Do any of the dinosaurs breathe fire for that matter? Folks, I hope you can help us out here. Which dinosaurs, if any, breathed fire?
You mean which real dinosaurs on Earth breathed fire? None, of course. Don't ask that. None.
No, I'm not sure anymore what does or doesn't breathe fire. Dewbacks? They do, right? So why did the stormtroopers choose to burn Owen and Beru? It looks like maybe a dragon was involved, but whether Boba Fett actually pulled the reins to make the dragon burn them, or he just used a flamethrower, it's a minor detail.
Oh,
You know,
probably the flamethrower. The flamethrower would be more practical, I would think. And I know Boba Fett has a flamethrower on his suit. And I know Django has an X-miniature flame projector, which is a miniature flamethrower, often attached to the gauntlet of its user. I think it casts a flame in about a 5-meter arc.
Yeah, and it would take something like that, or a dragon, to kill Owen and Beru, because they were tough. Boba Fett was a skilled assassin. He had a chance, but not Imperial stormtroopers with their terrible aim. Owen and Beru had defenses. They had weapons at the ready, at least for Sand People attacks. In the movie Attack of the Clones, when the Sand People attack the Lars homestead and kidnap Shmi, Klieg tries to go rescue her and they cut the man's legs off. The man's legs are gone. They would have had blasters after something like that.
Doubles.
Shift.
I don't know. I don't see a blaster on Owen's belt. What does he keep them in the back? Stockyard? Or
Yeah, actually, in the Legends Dark Horse comic series, Visionaries, Owen shoots Darth Maul in the head, but not right away. So he had it in the house, not on his person.
Okay.
Also, Owen and Beru were main characters, and main characters don't get killed by anonymous henchmen. That goes for all movies in general, really.
Right, but Owen and Beru weren't really main characters. They were background characters at the time. They were background characters at best, only existing to set up Luke's hero journey. And the stormtroopers weren't really anonymous henchmen at the time. Just 25. They were the evil empire, and our first introduction to it. They had to do something bad at the beginning so we would know they were bad. Like how in The Force Awakens, the First Order slaughters that village. Plus, you have to consider that at some point, stormtroopers get something done. Yes, they're incompetent, but if they can't take on an elderly farm couple, then they're not even much of a threat at all. I'll stay.
They're not just an elderly farm couple. They're a farm couple who survives in monster deserts.
Well, I have a monster hand here.
Anyway, that's all just the tip of the iceberg. I have some pieces of really damning evidence that Fett did it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Number 1.
175.
Vader would not have ignored the Lars homestead. Well, if we believe the official story, Anakin retrieves his mother from Sand People, albeit years ago, and his closest known relatives, his stepfather Klieg and his stepbrother Owen and Owen's wife Beru, remain there. But later, at a crucial point in the galaxy's history, the rebels flee to, for some reason, Tatooine. Darth Vader follows them there, and not knowing why they chose to go to Tatooine of all places, lets his soldiers destroy the farm and kill his only known relatives, people who could have and did have valuable information. Their nephew named Skywalker, and a strange wizard living nearby named Kenobi. You'd think Vader would be interested in that information.
Maybe he was. Maybe Vader wanted them alive, but the stormtroopers went against his better judgment. I mean, either that or Fett did. Obviously someone did.
But Fett had a reason. He wanted the bounty for himself. He's going to get the information he needs and destroy the trail. But why would stormtroopers do that? Vader had just said,
I want them alive!
He literally just said that.
Raise 100 total?
He yelled it at them.
I think he said he wanted the passengers alive.
I call.
Owen and Beru were passengers.
Vader's not going to listen to that. He wanted people alive. The Lars had valuable information, and the stormtroopers had no reason to disobey him. Fett did.
So your theory is that Fett destroyed them to hide the trail leading to Luke and the droids, so that then he could
Check.
what? Sorry, where does it go from there? What, hold them hostage or something? Something about the Illuminati?
Very funny. I'm just saying, how do you account for Vader being so stupid? 300. At the very least, Vader would wonder why Leia chose Tatooine of all places to flee to. If he wanted people alive, he wouldn't have let the stormtroopers kill the only people he knows on Tatooine and burn the evidence. Alright, this might be stupid, but I call. Someone with a reason did that.
I don't think he was stupid. He just didn't remember or care about his old family farm. Didn't think it had any significance, right? I mean, he ignored it up to that point. You think being in orbit above Tatooine is what he needed to twig to it?
Then how do you explain this one? Number 2.
No disintegrations.
Clearly, Vader is scolding Fett for disintegrating someone. Someone in the past.
Another 300.
But who has been disintegrated in the past?
Disintegrated.
About that droid. Do folks normally just go around disintegrating other folks?
Yeah, totally. Fett disintegrates folks. I think Vader just meant in general, don't be doing it. And the Lars weren't really disintegrated per se. I mean, they were burned. At any rate, this isn't evidence, Ken. When you say damning evidence, I expected something a little more like Fett with the smoking gun. So far, it's been wildly circumstantial. Just because Vader says no disintegrations, you can't infer that Fett disintegrated Owen and Beru. That's a huge leap of logic.
Actually, it's funny you say a smoking gun. There's actually footage of Boba Fett with a smoking gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll show it to you. Here it is.
My mistake. More coffins.
I am Boba Fett.
Clearly he did it. Oh wait, that was A Fistful of Dollars with Clint Eastwood. I get my Eastwood and my Fett mixed up sometimes. Okay, here's the footage of Fett with the gun from the 1997 special edition of A New Hope. Now, granted, the gun is not actually smoking, but it being such a large galaxy, he is definitely in the vicinity of the crime scene. What is Fett doing there, pointing his gun around? Why is he even on Tatooine?
He appears to be hanging out with Jabba the Hutt. Alderaan.
Oh, bad time. I've got 22.
Damn it. I think George Lucas added Fett in the special edition of A New Hope during the Jabba scene. I know many fans see that as a retcon. So, in fact, when they originally filmed that scene, Ken, when Jabba was a human, Boba Fett was not there. He was not even thought up yet by Lucas. It was only during Empire that Boba Fett was conceived. George Lucas decided it would be cool to add Boba, and they refilmed an actor in the suit and then digitally added him into the scene.
With a smoking gun.
No smoke added, except in this scene in the cantina where smoke was added, but...
Snoke was added?
Smoke.
Oh.
But that's not gun smoke.
Smoke or no Snoke, Fett isn't standing there by mere coincidence. Do you realize his status in the galaxy? He is the son of the original clone host of the Clone Wars. He is known and feared. At times he's even Vader's right-hand man. He's regularly involved in galactic historic events. The theft of the Death Star plans is a galactic historic event. Boba Fett is not just nearby loitering. Hey, do you know the origin of the word loitering? It's from the Dutch word to wag, but earlier than that, it's from the Old English lauter, which means beggar, and the German word lauterboob, which means dirty rascal. Do you think Fett is a dirty rascal or a beggar? I bet 200.
Come again?
Is Boba Fett a dirty rascal, or is he aware that the Death Star plans are stolen? That's the question. If he's just there by coincidence, it would be like when Darth Vader is about to reveal he's Luke's father, and Emperor Palpatine just shows up, checking the piping on Cloud City. Oh, hello. Just checking out the piping here. I see the plumbing contractor was right about a great many things.
Come again?
Well, that's what Emperor Palpatine would say if he was standing around for no reason.
I like to stand around for no reason sometimes. Can't a man stand anymore? Has the world gone so crazy that a man can't stand on the ground with his feet?
Well, George Lucas said something about the origin of Boba Fett that I think you'd find quite interesting. He said, and I quote...
Come again?
Are you listening to me?
Sorry. Go ahead. What did George Lucas say?
George Lucas said, and I quote, Darth Vader started as kind of an intergalactic bounty hunter, evolved into a grotesque knight, and as I got deeper into the knight ethos, he became more of a dark warrior than a mercenary. I split him up, and it was from an early concept of Darth Vader as a bounty hunter that Boba Fett came. Ralph McQuarrie and Joe Johnson came up with the design.
So why does that prove that Fett killed Owen and Beru?
Well, I don't know when Lucas had the idea for Luke's parents or guardians getting killed, but if it was before the concept of Vader, then technically for a while there, Boba Fett did kill him. in Lucas's mind anyway.
Raise 50?
Well, he might have just had in mind that some agent of the bad guys killed them, which could have been Vader, could have been Boba Fett, or the stormtroopers. I mean, agency plays a big part in Star Wars. Yoda warns Luke about becoming an agent of evil.
I'll stand.
Yes, and evil gets diluted further down the agency chain. Vader is an agent of Palpatine, who is pure evil. Vader is generally evil, but can be turned. Fett is not evil, but he is willing to do evil things. The stormtroopers, kind of like Fett, are just doing their job. And of course, the same chain is reflected in the prequels. Darth Tyrannus took orders from Palpatine, and then Jango Fett carried out those orders, and so on, and so on, and so on.
That's still not evidence. Okay, judgment time.
Wait a second. My last point was just that Boba Fett had just as much reason, if not more reason, than Vader to help the Empire. He had a major vendetta against the Jedi. He witnessed his father beheaded by Mace Windu, and then Mace callously walks away. It's a perfect untold revenge story. You would think that at every turn to help the Empire, Boba Fett would be front and center.
Well, for one thing, your points conflict a bit. If Fett wanted to help the Empire, then why did he destroy Owen and Beru instead of taking them alive? Is he in it for himself, or is he an agent of the Empire? But regardless, I wouldn't consider the establishment of either of those evidence that he committed that particular atrocity. It's very speculative, and you're filling in the gaps here with fan fiction.
Actually, this has all been canon, except for the dinosaur from the holiday special.
The verdict is not guilty. Fett may have done it, and I think he actually probably did, but probably just isn't enough to convict a man of double murder. You had to prove your case beyond a reasonable doubt.
Well, that's weird.
No, it's not weird.
What do you guys think? Could Boba Fett have killed Owen and Beru?
You disintegrated my stack.
Let us know in the comments below. And thanks for watching another episode of Sabacc Chat.
I lost everything. Whenever you gamble, my friend, eventually you lose.